Samsung Electronics projects an earnings shock in its operating profits for the fourth quarter of 2022 because of slowing global demand, and it was no different for LG Electronics. Our economic correspondent Lee Rae-hyun has more.
Samsung Electronics expects an earnings shock for the fourth quarter of 2022. The company on Friday reported estimated fourth quarter operating profits of 4.3 trillion won, or roughly $3.3 billion at the current rate. That's down about 69% compared to the same period a year earlier. And it's the first time in 8 years that the tech giant has recorded quarterly operating profits below 5 trillion won. In terms of Q4 sales, it projected an on-year decrease of 8.58%, amounting to 70 trillion won, or a little over $55 billion. Analysts are linking this earnings shock to the global economic slowdown amid inflation and soaring interest rates. One analyst says, as economic uncertainties continue, consumer demand for memory chips and smartphones is dropping.
Demand for PCs, smartphones, and servers have been dropping from the second half of last year. Sluggish performance for chips appears to be behind this result as more companies tighten their purse strings. Prices also dropped due to a stock pileup. Sales of smartphones have also slightly declined as well.
In fact, one investment securities firm forecasted operating profits for semiconductors in Q4 to come in at $1.1 billion. That's down 70% from the previous quarter. A sharp fall in the $1 exchange rate is also seen as one of the reasons for the earnings shock. Experts also predict the downward trend for Samsung's operating profits to remain throughout the second quarter of this year, as there are no signs of demand recovering for semiconductors yet. Meanwhile, for the fourth quarter, LG Electronics projected operating profits of 65.5 billion won, or roughly $52 million, down 91% on year due to sluggish demand for home appliances. However, in terms of Q4 sales, it has projected an increase of 5.2%, amounting to 21.8 trillion won, or just over $17 billion. That's an all-time high figure for any quarter. The company also reported that its estimated sales for 2022 as a whole surpassed 80 trillion won for the first time to 83.4 trillion won, or more than $66 billion. Lee Rae-hyun, Arirang News.